Yo,
Yo.
I know it's been a minute since I made a video, I know, and by a video I mean a real video instead of a short, because that's what I've been doing more recently. If you're ever wondering what happened or what's the context behind it, again, watch this video because I go much more in depth about it there. So if you're ever curious about that, you can give that a watch. And before you ask, no, I did not give up on Xenoverse 2 GMVs, like I keep reiterating over and over again. It's just that aside from the milestone video, I ran out of ideas. The milestone video is a video that's only going to happen whenever 1,000 subscribers or 3,000 watch hours are reached. Either one of them or both needs to happen in order for that video to exist. So, because that hasn't happened yet, that's the reason why I posted some shorts here on YouTube every now and then. And for the most part, I've been on Twitter mostly, posting sketches to practice drawing more recently because I have to be consistent with something in order for this to work, which led me to making this video. So, here's the deal. I know that this is another one of these videos that don't have anything to do with the main point of the channel, which is making my random ideas come to life. But again, like I said before, or like I said, 3 seconds ago, this has been lingering on my soul for the longest time as someone who's played the series ever since Xenoverse 1. And this is just going to be my take on it. And also, like I said earlier, I need to upload on this channel so that way I can stop having dead eyes about this. Now, this will be a series of videos spread into different parts because, again, like I said before, I have a PhD in yapology for this game, so I can go on forever about this. So it would make a lot more sense to group all of my topics into multiple videos instead of one singular one, because that would probably take, it would take infinite time to edit. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just have all of my topics go forward, and then once I feel like the video's long enough, then I'll move on to the second part. And the other videos probably won't have an intro. They'll probably have like a little thing telling you, hey, watch the first part, so that way everything makes sense moving forward. And it's recommended that you watch the first part anyway. That's why I'm going to have that little disclaimer at the beginning. So, also, I feel like I need to say this because I get the feeling that this take has a chance to pop up, because it's definitely not impossible for people to say this, especially in an era where people are professionals at visual gymnastics. So I'm going to go ahead and tackle the potential take of, how can you say Xenoverse 2 is mediocre when you make content around it? Well, for starters, everyone who makes content around XV2 and say that they love the game have also criticized the game in many ways. And secondly, which builds to the previous point, just because someone makes content around a particular game or whatever it is, that doesn't mean that it's immune to criticism or constructive criticism, whatever. There are a lot of people out there that have made criticisms on this game, as well as many other things, for quite some time, including the YouTubers that have built a large following because of the videos that they made in the first place. Like, if everyone in their jailbird is allowed to talk about how bad Sparking Zero is and give criticism on it, whether it's actual constructive criticism or just hating on the game because they can, then I'm also allowed to give constructive criticism on Xenoverse as well. That's just how it goes. So, to cut an extraordinarily long side quest rant short, because I can go on forever about that, you can't expect the thing that you like to get better if there's no valid criticism and all you have to say is nice things about it. You can point out great things about the thing that you're talking about, but constructive criticism also has that right too. Because if there's no constructive, valid thoughts or point outs that you can notice about something, then that something that you're talking about or whatever it is won't ever improve. Because all you're doing is just finding ways to constantly say nice things about it and not giving constructive criticism where it deserves it the most. So yeah. That's my whole take on that. Anyways, moving on. So I still wanted to get this out because these are things that I feel like aren't being said enough or mentioned enough in the community. And I feel like these things would definitely make the game infinitely better than what it is now, because it's honestly sad how it isn't better for how old this game is. So my list of things for this game goes on for quite a while. So this video will definitely be on the lengthier side, even though I did say it was going to be the first part. How lengthy? I don't know. We're just going to roll with it and see where it goes. So, why do I think this game is insultingly mediocre? Well, I think I'm going to start with customization being one of the many reasons, because it's really ironic that a game that constantly gets updates even 8 years later and has the selling point be about customization, mainly with custom characters, aka CACs, is extraordinarily underwhelming. The main thing that really bugs me about the customization is the fact that we have not once, ever, updated the customization features for CACs in the entire time that this game has existed. Like, how is it possible for this game to be this old that still gets content and we still don't have any new features for all the races in the game, even for all the Namekians, Majins, and Friezas, etc.? They went through all the effort of adding a hairstylist into the game, and in their minds, they were still set on giving us wigs even after that DLC came out in one of the legendary packs. And even before that, it was still supreme levels of stupid to have Shenron be the only reason to why you can change anything about your custom character's looks or features in the first place, because you had to collect all the Dragon Balls over and over and over again to change something about your custom character, especially when it came to the hair. And it's not even just exclusively hair either. Like, why don't we have more customization features like eye types, jaw types, ear types, body types, etc. for all the races, and having an option to pick tails for Saiyans to make them look different and more unique, like how Revamp did with their 5.0 update. Speaking of Revamp 5.0, why doesn't Saiyan hair spike up when you transform into Super Saiyan even after 8 years in the actual game? Breaker's got that right. How did Xenoverse miss the mark on that? And also, that's not to mention the fact that most of the hairs in Xenoverse 2 are the exact same hairs from Xenoverse 1, meaning that they reused those same assets to make new hairstyles in Xenoverse 2, but with a little bit extra texture changes or something like that. And then they added some brand new things in Xenoverse 2. But that's it. It hasn't changed ever since. Like, new customization features should have been a thing ever since the first Super Pack DLC. The very, very, very first DLC that came out for this game. And all the way up to now, which is literally getting close to the DLC 20 meme. Because back then people memed that, oh, well, Xenoverse 2 is going to have 20 DLCs. Like, we're actually literally like one number away. Because the last pack that came out was the Daima pack. So we are getting close. So we are literally one DLC away from the DLC 20 meme actually being a reality. And out of all the times that they kept making DLC for this game, they literally had 19 opportunities to introduce like more customization features for custom characters. Whether, again, it doesn't matter whether it be Saiyans, Earthlings, Namekians, Friezas, Majins, everybody has it, right? They could have easily done that the whole time, because I mean, that would have given people a reason to actually buy the DLC, even if the DLC was bad. Like, if the DLC had like a bad character, or if the DLC wasn't all that interesting, people would have actually bought the DLC had they added more customization features for custom characters, because at least they would have something to gain from the DLC, and that would actually keep people buying it over and over and over again. And if they did that, the customization features compared to now, like how they were in 2016, right now, if they actually did that as an idea, or if they followed through with that, the difference in customization features and how the way they could have looked on CACs would have been night and day, but in reality it's just night and night, because literally nothing changed. Also, why don't they give us the option to adjust certain features for your character's body instead of having to choose the same 3 types that were in the game in the very beginning? Like, there should be modifiers like how other games do it, like where they allow you to adjust certain customization features that allow you to slide and slowly alter your character's body type. So you can go for a bulky type, you'll be able to do more basic attack and more strike damage. And then your range supers won't be as much, and vice versa if you go for a more skinny type, right? It also extends to raids too. That can also be a reason for why people can play the raids, or why people will even want to be interested in playing the raids, because they may not care for the loading screen, or they may not care about something that the raid offers or something like that, like a title. That would actually give people a reason to actually play the other game modes if there were more customization features for you to unlock in those game modes. Like, there's seriously no reason for this not to be a thing in the game, despite it being literally 8 years old. There's no reason. Everyone keeps making noise about how the colorable outfits that you can get through Festival of Universes are worth it if you play it. But the issue with that is that all of the outfits behind Festival of Universes in the metal shop should have been colorable ever since the release of this game. I mean, the outfits that were colorable at the very beginning of this game's release were something that existed, so why didn't they think to do that for all the clothing in the game as DLCs kept coming out? Or they could have just done that for all the outfits at the very beginning of the game at launch. Looking at you, Mummy's clothes. Like, why is that outfit specifically locked behind the STP Metal Shop, when that is an outfit that was released at the very start of the game. And somehow that didn't make it into patch notes when it came to it being colorable, but somehow everything else did. Especially with all the lines of clothing in the game that were available for all the races. Why didn't they just think to copy and paste that exact same code for the Mummy Bandage outfit costume, and literally for every single outfit in the game that should have been that was released as DLCs kept coming out and when the game first released. They also did the same for custom partners too, because you can change Goku's gi outfit colors when he's a custom partner, but you couldn't do the same thing for your CACs before Festival of Universes came around, despite the fact that the option to color is right next to the equip option. And when I say before Festival of Universes came around, I'm not talking about having the option or the customizable variant be an entirely separate one from the original one that's in the game. No, I'm talking about having the one that was in the game at the very beginning, have that be the normal colors for it, and then when you want to change it, then it can change into random colors. So that way you can have both the option to have it the same color as it was, and then be able to change the colors if you want to. In fact, remember when they gave us Tapion's outfit 4 different times in different colors because they couldn't think of other things to give us? Yeah, here's why that makes me mad even to this day, because I still can't understand why they even did this, and I actually came to this realization a few days ago. So, one, they literally could have added Tapion's outfit in the game at launch, because let's be real, he should have been a character that should have been at the very start of the game in the first place. So his outfit shouldn't have been at the game at launch, and you would have been able to recreate those exact same colors with the Tapion outfit colors that they gave us in that raid long ago. So if they had done that, then there would be no reason for that to be the case, and they could have actually saved it for something else. And two, they gave us that as if changing clothes on coloring for CACs is an entirely new concept that's never been done. And I'm like, that is the purest form of false. Literally the purest form of false, because that's not true. It's not. Now you might go, well, it's a new idea that they're saving for Festival of Universes so that way they can give us more rewards. Being able to change the colors of outfits in Xenoverse is not new. Again, the idea to change outfit colors were a thing at the very start of the game's release, all the way back in 2016. So it's crazy how they didn't think to copy and paste that exact same concept for all the outfits and all the DLC outfits that came out for the game at the very start. But you know what's even crazier? I'm gonna get you with this one. You know what's even crazier? The fact that this idea existed in Xenoverse 1. I'm not kidding. If you go back and rewind the time back in 2015, 10 years ago, at the start of Xenoverse 1's release, you'll see the option to change the color of your outfit on your CAC is there. Not by a huge factor, of course, but it's still there. Which means that they somehow missed the mark to constantly make this a thing as DLCs kept coming out for this game in Xenoverse 2. And even if they did that, it's not a new thing because it's an idea that existed 10 years ago in the first game.
Oh my god, holy fuck. Whoa, yo, oh, whoa, what? What? This ain't no damn dream, I just picked my stuff and this is real.
That's only the first half. It keeps going from that point.